lot of artists can kind of get to feeling lost and without a sense of purpose. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to find your purpose and how to start making art that matters. Maybe not just only to you, maybe it can change the world. That sounds pretty freaking amazing. Hey, my name is DJ, and I know what it's like to feel kind of lost as an artist. A lot of us don't know what our purpose is or what direction we're even supposed to be going. And many artists just give up altogether, and we don't want that. In this video, I'm going to help you actually find your individual purpose and direction so you can start making art that matters to you and the rest of the world around you. I actually think this will help a lot of artists actually grow their true fans and their audience if that's something that you're looking for. Real quick before we get into this topic, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel so that we can reach even more artists and help them grow. Thank you. So grab a pencil and a piece of paper and let's get started right now. You might currently be on a specific path with your art, or maybe you're thinking of choosing a new direction or changing course from what direction you're currently on. For most artists I know, including myself, you just kind of set out on a journey without thinking about your final destination in mind or without a map. It feels exciting to kind of just take off and start on a new journey or project and make some money. But after a while, that kind of wears off. And even sometimes you start to dread the thing that you thought that you loved the most. I never really thought about it this way before until very recently. That for years I was kind of adrift, sailing from gig to gig. And the longer you do that, the more something felt like something was missing in my life and in my work. You can get to feeling a bit lost. And that can feel very uninspiring. And when you're uninspired, it's hard to feel motivated to create anything that's really meaningful. This is how it is for a lot of art students that I talk to as well. They start out excited to want to explore one medium or market, and then as soon as they kind of get into it, something just kind of feels a little off. If you find yourself feeling that way at any time, it's because you've probably set out on a journey without a map, a destination, or no real compass or North Star to help guide you. And that makes it very easy to get lost. Let's fix that right now together. This is a roadmap that you can do in just a couple minutes that you're going to be able to use for the rest of your life. Something that's going to get you where you want to go and probably even faster. Now, take your pencil and your paper, and what I want you to do is draw 4 columns out, just like this. Seriously now, you're going to want to write these down. I'll explain in a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why it is, but when you actually physically write something down on paper, it becomes more effective, whether it's your goals or what we're about to do here. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one question in a second here. But before I ask it, make sure you're not distracted with a lot of stuff going on. You need to concentrate on the first words that come to your mind when I ask the question. Okay, are you ready? Are you not distracted, alone? As soon as I ask it, I want you to be mindful of the very first words that come to your mind, and I want you to write them down in the first column as quickly as possible. I might even suggest that you set a timer for like a minute or two, maybe even just 30 seconds, to create some sense of urgency around getting these answers and not overthinking them or talking yourself out of your answers. Okay, here comes the one question. Are you ready? Are you sure? What are the most important things to you personally? Like, what topics do you actually love the most? Are there one or more topics that you think you could just talk about or think about for hours? You lose track of time. When you find somebody else that knows about it, you could talk about this indefinitely. Most people have words that come to them almost immediately with some topics in mind. I know I sure do. And if not, that's okay too. I know I just sprung this on you. You weren't expecting to do this little exercise today. Take your time and think about it. I believe that everybody has something deep down. Usually something will come within a few minutes. Or just come back and revisit this. You may have thought about some top-level goals like family and faith and your friends. Maybe you care deeply about some big world issue or current worthy cause, like ending poverty or world hunger, saving the honey badger. Saving the honey badger! It's the honey badger escape. Do honey badgers even need saving? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just an example, okay? And yes, it's totally okay if it's a hobby. It's okay to feel selfish about this. It could be comic books or something that you enjoy doing, playing music, writing music, hiking, doing outdoor stuff. It could be a hobby or a skill that you might want to learn. Something that deep down inside, when you're not doing it, you're constantly thinking about it. The sky is the limit here. And it's going to be different for everyone, as it should be. And now that you have all your words, it's time to kind of sort them and kind of figure this out. Look at all the words that you wrote down, and what's the one word that sticks out to you the most? Move that word to the number 1 column on your page. Congratulations, that's your first personal pillar. And now we're going to choose 3 more pillars. Look at the other words, and you can think on this a little bit more. Maybe new words came to you. You can take your time here and really think on this. It can be a mix of topical, hobby, passions. Could you have more than 4 pillars? I guess you could. But the question is, should you? In my experience, focusing on just 4 pillars are going to get you where you're going even faster. And you'll be feeling better about the journey that you're on. Too many pillars can mean too many things that you're thinking about, and then you get to feeling stuck again. Here's a breakdown of my personal pillars. So number 1 for me, when I wrote mine originally, the word the craft or storytelling kind of kept coming out. I just love visual storytelling, and in my case, it's comics and visual storytelling. One thing I noticed was what wasn't there. I didn't write down I want to make money with my comics, and for years I felt like that's what I was chasing. So deep down, it was really just about the craft of it. The money is secondary. Another thing that came up for me was helping others. Usually it's other artists, but I'm always kind of trying to encourage everybody that I'm around. I didn't even realize I was doing this myself until I started thinking about this and going through these exercises. But I just really love encouraging people and seeing them pursue their passions and hobbies and dreams, and that's just the meaning of life to me. You got one go, you might as well make the best of it. Another one of my pillars is stoicism. I was introduced to stoicism by Ryan Holiday from thedailystoic.com. It really helped me calm the waters and all the drama that was coming up in my life. And also, it's just super cool. The idea that when we read ancient philosophy, we're communicating with the dead. That's just rad to me. And the core idea of the obstacle being the way, kind of showing you and guiding you, it's kind of a good compass of its own. It really made me think about my own thoughts and just want to be a better person and serve a greater good. And a lot of the other words kind of mixed into the word innovation for me. I'm always kind of looking at what's next, whether it's an art program, an art tool, checking out weird AI art stuff to see if it's a danger to us all. Spoiler alert, it is. And now that you have these pillars kind of spelled out, they can kind of become like your North Star, your guiding principles, your compass. They act as kind of a filter to help guide you in making decisions that kind of keep you centered and on mission and on your path. And by doing this, you're going to feel a lot more fulfilled deep down inside and a lot less lost. Now, for artists, one option is you might start making art or pursuing some sort of art that aligns with one of your pillars. In the immortal words of Mark Twain, find a job that you enjoy doing, and you'll never work another day again in your life. Real quick examples for you. Maybe if you're a comic artist, you can make a comic about that specific niche. It's kind of appealing to me to maybe make some comics about stoicism and ancient philosophers and cool stuff like that, talking to the dead. Maybe you're a digital painter that loves insects, so now it's a series of art prints that you've done. Another good example are tattoo artists. I've seen them specialize in certain genres they love, like horror or romance or portraits, typography. I try to stay pretty strict to using my pillars as a filter. For me, I feel like it helps me stay on course and gets me towards my destination and my own goals. I feel like I used to say yes to everything, and after a while you'll start to regret the decisions that you're making along the way. I just wasn't feeling fulfilled, and I was feeling lost. It was just really hard for me to say no, especially to my friends or jobs that might pop up. So using this method has really helped me be able to not only say no, but to feel good about saying no, to feel better about it. If something doesn't align with your pillars, I say throw it out. Get it out of here. Pick it up, throw it away. Quick note, everybody changes over time. Some things that were important to me when I was in my 20s are way different now in my 40s. This is just natural to change over time. Give yourself a little bit of a break if you're feeling a little lost or haven't quite found your thing yet. It's there, you just have to kind of think about it. And that's what's really fun about writing these things down. You can look back and see how far you've grown. You might be surprised at some of the things that you've accomplished. I'm really curious to know what your pillars are. Be sure to drop a comment if you want to share. Once you start to know who you really are and start fine-tuning your pillars, I think that there are 2 other topics that can really make or break an artist. And I've made videos about those as well. You can check them out on the screen now, especially that one right there, or maybe that one, or just watch them both. Don't forget to like and subscribe.